Hello, I'm Joseph Dillard. Welcome to the Integral Deep Listening video curriculum. In our previous video on the worldview of IDL, we have seen that it is experientially multi-perspectival and polycentric. The worldview of integral deep listening also has a strong moral foundation in that it is based on the reciprocal demonstration of respect. Respect is fundamental to human relationships. It is much more important to you that you feel respected by me than that we necessarily agree. You feel respected when I understand and honor your perspective, whether or not I agree with it. IDL is unusual in that it extends respect to the imaginal elements that it interviews, treating dream characters and the personifications of life issues, not only with the respect we show toward others, but with the same degree of respect we desire others to show to us. What this does is anchor morality and respect not in some moral code like the Ten Commandments or the notion of Dharma, or in current cultural social norms and laws, but in our intrapsychic and intrasocial experience. Intrapsychic means within ourselves, our thoughts and emotions. Intrasocial means within ourselves, in a social collective sense. The emphasis of intrapsychic is on a unitary self, while the emphasis of intrasocial is on a collective, distributed, or polycentric identity that includes but transcends our own. This is a difficult concept for many people to grasp because people want to say, yes, and it's still me. However, this is true only from our perspective. As soon as we cut loose from that shore and take the perspectives of various imaginal elements, we are no longer the center of identity, the center of our reality. We assume a different core, and collectively, those different cores comprise an intrasocial, in addition to an intrapsychic identity. Why this matters is that it is the foundation of reciprocal respect in the microcosm, which projects the macrocosm of social relationships, just as the macrocosm is internalized, providing many of the perceptual frameworks of our microcosm. Without reciprocal respect in the microcosm, the societal expression of respect tends to be superficial, based merely on internalized social scripting called conscience, and fear of the consequences of trespassing social norms called laws. However, when reciprocal respect is anchored in intrasocial relationships through IDL interviewing, there is a congruence between inner experience and outer expression that is much more authentically grounded. This concept of intrasocial reciprocal respect is a product of the interviewing process itself. If you do interviews with yourself and others, you can test this concept and determine for yourself if it is true or not. In this sense, IDL attempts to build its moral foundation on empiricism, not belief or faith. There are two other important aspects of morality that are fundamental to the worldview of IDL: trustworthiness and empathy. We ask of each other not only, do they respect me, and do they reciprocate, but also, are they trustworthy, and are they empathetic? Trustworthiness does not need to be global. We only need to check the checkout clerk at our grocery store to be trustworthy in giving change. We don't know and don't care whether or not they are, say, devil worshippers. Similarly, in our relationships with interviewed perspectives, the bar of trustworthiness has to do with the specific recommendations that are made. We ask, is this recommendation reasonable and helpful or not? When I act on it, does my life become better or not? Similarly, interviewed perspectives judge our trustworthiness by our willingness and ability to take what they say seriously enough to consider its truth or falsity and to test it in our lives. Regarding empathy, as explained in another video, we We're not talking about our belief that we have resonance with the feelings of others. Genuine empathy is validated. Others tell us that, yes, they experience us as having an understanding or resonance with their perspective and feelings. Similarly, with IDL, empathy exists when we fully embody the perspective of this or that emerging potential, both during interviews and later, at times when their perspective is more effective than our own. Empathy exists when we have a sense of being genuinely and deeply understood and respected by this or that interviewed perspective. All four of these factors, respect, reciprocity, trustworthiness, and empathy, are central to what it means to live a moral, ethical life. Grounding these values internally in our relationships with our intrasocial community is essential for the manifestation of an authentic morality in our relationships with others. Most people do not share this conception of morality and therefore cannot act out of this awareness, mainly because they have no means of doing so. They have not been taught the importance of being internally morally grounded, other than in the internalization of social norms as conscience, or by appeal to what they call intuition or inner knowingness. IDL offers a concrete, testable methodology by which we can build all four of these components of the core line of morality within ourselves. All of the various modules of IDL Integral Life Practice are designed to be founded on the deep morality disclosed and developed through the interviewing of emerging potentials. This encounter, based on reciprocal respect, is deeply moral, regardless of how objective or abstract the interviewed emerging potential may be. For example, the son, when interviewed, may display zero empathy and not care how trustworthy we are, yet still have a relationship with us based on reciprocal respect, in which its empathy with our life circumstances is clear, in that it understands them intimately, and us intimately, and is trustworthy, in that it is stable, solid, and reliable in its perspective. It is important as you explore integral deep listening that you reflect on its moral foundation and see if it fits and makes sense to you. It is important because to do so grounds IDL not simply in cognition, worldview, or in a yogic practice, but in a deep sense of mutual caring that some call love or compassion, and which in any case involves authentic morality, ethics, and justice that is fundamentally anchored in the central core of who you experience yourself to be. Thanks for watching. See you next time.